Well, hello everyone. Want to take a few minutes today to stop in and talk about some things that we're seeing a lot online and in the news and stuff, and um, going on in local cities and counties throughout the country. And seen of it, some of it happening here in the state of Tennessee, and want to talk about how we get here. How did we get here with our schools? Um, so let's look back at um, 40 years, 42 years. You know, our school systems were basically taken over by the Federal Department of Education when it was created in October 1979. So we're a little over 40 years into this, and we can already see the effects that it's had on our schools and our communities and everything since then. So what happened? Um, what since the Department of Education was created, how has it affected us? So don't know. I can't speak for other states, but I can look back and I'm a little older than some folks. I remember going to school before the Department of Education was created, and I remember going to school before some big changes were made here in Tennessee. So I remember how things used to be. So in 2000, in October of 1979, let me get this straight and get this out here. The Federal Department of Education was created, and it didn't take long in Tennessee here when the Democrats, call it the way I see it, because I'll call it the other way here in a little bit. Um, the Democrats in 1993, it took 14 years, little right at 14 years after the Department of Education was created, that the Democrats here in the state legislature voted and mandated that all director of schools, school superintendents had to be appointed by the school boards in each area, city, county, whatever. They all had to be um, appointed. That was mandated. They didn't give the counties the option or cities the options of doing that. They mandated that that had to be done, and that had to be done by the year 2000. So up until that time, cities and counties school systems had the option of, if they wanted to appoint them, they could. If they wanted to have directors of schools elected, just like a county sheriff, that's what they did. And that was the way it was in the county I grew up in. Every 4 years, the director of schools had to run for reelection. If the parents and the community wasn't satisfied with them, they'd vote them out of office. And someone who lived in that county as a teacher who was in the school system or whatever would run and you know uh, try to get elected as school superintendent or director of schools, and that gave people in the county uh, a way of buying in, to help improve their school systems. But after 2000, that happened. The school boards would start appointing these positions, and I guess the reasoning for that was they thought they'd get better people to run the schools. So if you go online, you can really find some good information on that. One of the reasons why they uh, justified going with the appointing school directors was because they felt like that a lot of schools were failing, and the public didn't make the right decisions on who they were electing and everything. Now, just remember, these are the same legislatures that run for reelection and run for election, and the same people are voting for these people, but they don't think that they can make the right decision on electing their school board or school director or school superintendent. So that's where that's how we've got to where we're at now. But let's look at the effects of it. I mean, has school systems gotten better? I would say no. I'd say they've gotten worse. I mean, if you look in just in the county that I'm in the area that I'm in, since the year 2000, there has been an explosion of private schools and everything being built. And a lot of people are homeschooling their kids now because of the things that we're seeing in schools and the condition of the public schools and the stuff that they teach. Um, a lot of parents don't agree with it. So, look where we're at now, and you see the effects as being, I think, negative on the school systems. So we had a state senator here in Tennessee that really saw what was coming on, and he was always filing a bill to change what basically the Democrats had did in 1993 under a Democratic governor, Ned McWhorter, uh, by mandating this school director issue. So Senator Frank Niceley had always been running a bill that would take away the mandate. It would give um, the power back to the county commissions to decide whether they wanted to elect their school board members or director of schools, or let the school board actually appoint those people. And guess who killed it? Guess who's always killed his bills that he's ran? Yes, you got it, Republicans. So uh, one of the information, uh, some of the information that you can find online is, and I encourage you to go back and look at this because there is absolutely outstanding video on this from the state legislature in 2016. So I'm going to give you the Senate bill, and uh, go back and check it out if you can, and look it up and watch the dialogue and the conversation of everything that went on then. It was Senate Bill 1606, and this was Senator Niceley's bill. But at that time, they had Knox County Mayor Tim Burchett, who is now a congressman, United States congressman. He went down and testified about the effects that this stuff has had on Knox County schools. And Tim Burchett said the same thing. You're telling the people that you're really hypocrites. You're saying that the people don't have enough sense to elect a director of schools in their county or city, but you want them to vote for you. So that's it's crazy. But so let's look at some more effects of what's happened since then, because Niceley and Burchett addressed some of these issues. Here in the county that I'm in, back in 2017, I believe, yes, 2017, the director of schools in Knoxville, Knox County, come up, had an opening position, and our director of schools applied for that position and became one of two finalists for it. And so he didn't get it, but he eventually um, left our school system here. But what job did he leave to take? He took a head lobbying job in Nashville, representing the organization that lobbies for school superintendents in the state of Tennessee. And that's what we're seeing now through all these directors is, okay, if a position comes open, they'll put their name in a hat for it, knowing that they probably won't get it, but um, they'll use that, like college football coaches or NFL coaches. They'll use it to get a pay raise, and a lot of times it's pretty substantial pay raise that they get. I know up in the Clarksville, Montgomery County school district earlier this year, they were looking at giving a school director a $60,000 a year pay increase, which is crazy. You know, it's more than some people make in a year, but they want to increase that salary that much. So I've seen it happen throughout the state, and a school director come in, be there 3 or 4 years, and or 5 years, and then they're gone again, and then the school system is uh, back looking for another director of schools or something. And so it's had a really bad negative effect in that area. Um, as I said, they use it, they'll apply somewhere else. The director of schools that we have in our area now come out of the Virginia area, and they moved here. And who knows, uh, been here 4 years, when he starts throwing his name in the hat for other places. Maybe he don't. I don't know. But we've seen it all throughout the state. And I believe the director at the Clarksville, Montgomery County schools actually ended up taking a job in Houston, Texas. So as the director of schools down there, have no problem with someone trying to better themselves. I don't have an issue with that, but I do have a problem with how it's affecting our kids and the education system that we have. Parents have lost basically all say in the school system now, and you can see it. Parents go to a school board meeting and speak up about the things that they see going on and speak out against things, and they're just treated awful. So this is the effect that we've seen in our school systems here in Tennessee. And I just wanted to kind of fill you in on how we got here. Um, I'm hoping that maybe Senator Nicely or someone else will start running these bills again that will um, give the counties and these school districts, cities, or whatever, the option of either appointing their school director or letting the people elect their director of schools. I mean, we need that. We need that option, and we need to take away the mandate that was put on us by the state legislature in 1993. So, anyway, hope you can take this information and use it for some good. Do some more background work on it. Research and stuff, and maybe you can use it to help you in achieving what you wanted to do in with your kids and your school system. So, anyway, have a good day. Uh, God bless you, and check back again. Thank you. Bye bye.